Okay, this is part 3 of lesson 3, using shapes to create artwork for a postcard. And now, after we have created that last lamp, we're going to go over and create another lampshade using the Shape Builder tool. And what's nice about the Shape Builder tool is I can combine vector objects to create shapes in a number of different ways. And there's different methods that you can use with this tool. So the first thing we're going to do with the selection tool selected, which is again the letter V on your keyboard, what we're going to do is, what I did was I actually hid my star shapes, and I'm going to show you that here. I'm going to go show all, and you can see the stars are there. And so what we're going to do here, I'll show you the operation here. Again, I select the star shapes and I'm just going to object and hide selection. So I can work in this area to create my lampshade, and then we'll bring them up later. So I'm going to select my rectangle tool, and we're going to be using the same orange that we did for that lampshade. So we'll go ahead and select that. And with the rectangle tool, I am going to do a width of 2 inches and a height of 1.2. And then click OK. And here we have our rectangle. And we're going to be creating a couple of different shapes here in order to combine them and make our next lampshade. So anyways, then what I want to do is I'm going to click the rectangle tool again, and you'll notice that this one now, it came up with the last dimensions that I put in, but I want to change this to a height of 0.15. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then click OK. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually change this fill color to a black, and then with the move tool, letter V, we're going to drag this down to the bottom here. So let me just drag this up just a tad bit, and then we'll intersect these together on the bottom. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to create a triangle. So I can go ahead and just click on this triangle, and I'm going to go Command C, Command V, which is edit, copy, edit, paste. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to transform this triangle, and I'll just go ahead and start it right here. And we're going to make it 2 by 2. Or I think 1.5 by 2, I'm sorry. Go ahead and that up there, and almost there, or 2 by 2, yeah, that's correct. Okay, so just kind of a little off there. That's pretty close. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move that up. Again, if you hit your shift key, it goes up more distance than if you don't. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my selection tool and I'm going to drag across all 3 items, making sure you get that bottom one, bottom one selected as well. So I have all 3 shapes selected. And at this point now, what I can do is I'm going to go to the Shape Builder tool, and that is this tool right here, right underneath the width tool. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine my shapes. Okay, and we got a black there, that's fine. And then what I want to do is I'm going to hold down my Option key and get rid of those shapes there. And so now I have this lampshade, and I'm just going to go ahead and press the V key, and then bring that down so it just hovers over the top of the lamp here. And then I'm going to change this color to a light gray. So we're going to go to the fill and just choose the light gray. and no stroke is fine. And then we're going to go back to Object and show, go to Show All here. And now, as you can see, the stars aren't showing up because they are actually behind this lampshade. So I am going to send the lampshade back. And now you've got you can see the stars. And we can go ahead and just select these together and move the stars up a little bit. And actually what I probably should have done was I'm going to bring the lampshade back to the front. Actually, what we're going to have to do here, I should have done it another way, but we'll just do it this way. So I'm going to bring this object to the front. Okay, and then I'm going to take these and I'm going to bring these to the front. And then they should hover over there. Okay, so now we've got our 3 lamps, and we are going to now work with the Pathfinder panel. The bottom row of buttons in the Pathfinder panel, and you can locate that by going to Windows and Pathfinder. And we'll go ahead and bring this out so you can take a look at it. And you can see that we have different shape modes, and we also have different Pathfinder modes. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to finish the yellow and green lamp using the Pathfinder panel tool. So with your selection tool, hold down the Shift key, and you're going to select the small yellow triangle and the small rectangle beneath it. So remember, though, we grouped these, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and ungroup those. And then I'm just going to select these 2 here. Okay. And then in the Pathfinder panel, we are going to go to the Merge button, which is the 3rd one. And you'll notice how it just merged these shapes together. So I've got, out of 2 shapes, I was able to merge that into one. So in shape modes, and we're going to also recreate the shape that we have down here at the bottom of the lamp. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to select the rectangle tool, and we are going to draw a rectangle that has a width of 0.5 and also a height of 0.1. And click OK. And there you see we have that rectangle there. And I'm going to move the rectangle so that it intersects right at the bottom here and in the center. Okay. And it looks like it needs to come down just a tad there. Okay, so that's good. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go to the horizontal, and if it was up to, I'm just going to show you here. Other thing you can do too, what we're going to do first here is we're going to select, holding down the Shift key, both of these shapes here, and then I'm going to select again the bigger shape to make that the key element. And then I am going to go to the horizontal align, center, and the vertical align, bottom. And it didn't work. Okay, we're just going to bring it down there for now. Okay, so we've got that in there, and what we're going to do is we are going to, with all objects selected, we are going to click the minus button in the shape modes. And as you can see, we've got kind of this nice little leg thing going on right next to our chamfer corners here. Okay, now we're going to go over to the left side here where we created that lamp, and I'm just going to go to the top anchor point and just make this just a little bit narrower. And then I'm going to give it a stroke. Now I want to show you something here. If you notice, I don't have this path connected. And what we failed to do here when we did that lamp, we forgot to go to Object and Path and join once more. So I'm going to join once more, and now you see that it is connected. So, and we're going to change the color to white, and then we're going to select the eraser tool. And with the eraser tool, I can go ahead and make all sorts of fun little designs. And you can see how it's just taking this shape and making them into smaller shapes. And of course, you can change the size of this eraser tool as well. And I can show you how to do that here. Okay. And using the bracket keys next to your letter P on the keyboard, I can change the size of this to smaller or bigger. So go ahead and, you know, have some fun playing with kind of little different strokes there. And get it kind of the way you want. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. And then, if you want, this is kind of the end of this section here. And we're going to go on to working in different drawing modes. Okay, so in the tool panel, right down here, you see these three icons. And one is Draw Normal, Draw Behind, and Draw Inside. And Draw Normal, basically, if we are on that option, we can keep drawing shapes that are set on top of each other. If we do the Draw Behind mode, this mode allows you to draw objects behind other objects without having to choose layers or pay attention to the stacking order. And then the Draw Inside mode will let you draw objects or place images inside other objects, including live text, and it will automatically create a clipping mask of the selected objects. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to select Draw Behind. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the rectangle tool, and we're going to put a red background on this postcard. So we'll go ahead and choose red. And we're not going to have a stroke, so I'm going to turn that off. And then starting at the corner of the bleed area, I'm going to draw over my postcard. And as you see, it put it at the very far back, so we can see all the lamps, etc. Okay, so now we're going to use the Draw Inside mode, and we're going to learn how to draw a shape inside of another shape. So we're going to go to the Selection tool, which is your V key. And then what we're going to do this, we're going to go to the Draw Inside tool. Okay. And this will allow me to draw within a selected object only. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to select this ellipse over here on the part of the lamp. And so every shape I create now will be drawn inside that selected shape. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to a lighter green. And I'm going to go into my ellipse tool. And actually, I wanted that to be green, so we'll just, okay. So, and now I'm going to go here and we're going to draw another ellipse. Oh, I'm on the rounded rectangle, so let's get out of that. I want to go on to the ellipse tool. Okay, so now in this part where we're going to go into the Draw Inside mode, one of the things you want to remember is you don't want to be on the Draw Inside mode until after you make your selection. And I'm going to make my selection, and then now when I go to the Draw Inside mode, you'll see I get these dotted lines surrounding my shape. And so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go to the ellipse tool, and we're going to drag out a circle approximately 1.2 inches. And then we're going to change this color to the darker green. And then now, when I click out of this mode, you'll notice that I have, it created the object inside, just basically making a clipping mask. So anyways, once we get that all done, we're ready to use image trace to create shapes. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be bringing in my lampshade file. So we're going to go ahead and go File, Open. And my computer's a little slow. But anyways, here we're going to learn how to work with image trace command. And basically it's just going to take a raster picture from Photoshop, and then I'm going to convert the drawings into shapes here. So we'll get to lesson 3 here, and we've got my logo, and we're going to go ahead and actually, why don't we just go, instead of opening it, let's place this in there. So it saves us a step. We'll go ahead and bring that in. But we want to do this, and we're going to do this on the second board here. And you can take your screen here. And apparently it didn't show up, so let me figure out what's going on here. Okay, so we have our lampshade file, and I'm just going to reduce the size, just holding down my Shift key. And what we're going to be doing is we are going to do an image trace, and we can do that from various parts. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the 6 color trace, and then I'm also, remember, ignore the white. And basically what this has done is it's now made this into a vector image. And we can also choose outlines with a source image from the View menu to take a look at it. So go to View and show outlines. And actually, it wouldn't show the outlines right now because I have not finished this process. So we'll just go ahead and bring it back. What we need to do next is with the tracing result, we want to go ahead and click Expand. And so now if you zoom in fact, if you zoom in, you can see how it's now created paths for the various items here. So once we get that done, we are going to go ahead and we can check go back to the, so what I did here, I went back out of Expand by going Control or Command Z a couple times. But they want us to try some different things here too. So we're going to show you what it looks like with 3 colors. Okay. And we're going to also change the paths to 80. And we're going to change the corners to 90. And then we're going to change the noise to 10. And snap curves to line will be selected, as well as ignore white. Okay. And you can see that these changes actually made quite an improvement on the overall look of this, the paths that they made. And at this point, then you can go ahead and hit the Expand button, and you can see now we have our vectorized shape. So then what we're going to do is we're going to change the fill of the letters here, and we're going to change it to white. But I think before we do that, let's actually take this over, and I'm just going to group them. So, oh, they are grouped right now. Okay, good. And we're just going to get both artboards in here. And we're going to take our selection tool and we're going to bring that over. And we want to fit it into our postcard area. So we'll go ahead and put it there. And I'm just going to center it. It's a little different than what the book shows, but my lamps are a little bit bigger. And then once we have that set up, we can go ahead and, whoops, I'm going to zoom in here so it's easier to select here. And we're just going to go ahead and select each individual, whoops, letter. And if you can see, I can go to white. And so I can just hold down my Shift key and with the direct selection tool, select all the letters that are in black. And change this, the fill, whoops, lost my fill there. Okay, I guess it didn't like that very well, but I think you can, we don't want to change all of them, so let's go back here. I don't know how I lost that, and we'll go ahead and do white and do the same thing over here. Okay, I see what's happening. So we'll just, it's telling me that this needs to be converted here. And I'm not sure what that's about here. So it didn't like me selecting this side on its own, so we'll go ahead and, yeah, we're going to have to convert the here. So 1 second here. Okay, sorry about that. So I just needed to ungroup these, and now I can go back and change the rest of them. And then we are pretty much done here with the postcard. So anyways, that's it for lesson 3. We'll go ahead and put this in the window. We got our postcard there. And you've learned a lot of different operations as to making shapes and making compound shapes and image trace, as well as using the eraser tool, etc. And so next, what we're going to be doing is the next lesson will be lesson 4, transforming artwork. So thank you, and we'll see you in lesson 4.